Good morning, everyone. We survived the storm yesterday. It was pretty windy up some for a few minutes, and then it calmed down again, rained some. Ended up letting the horses out anyway. It just didn't look. Ended up not looking just bad enough to leave them in at 70 degrees. Right, Jake? This boy's been going through a little something with his stomach, it seems. So, and he's not eating. There's no way you already ate all your food. You're not hungry? Huh? What's the matter? What's the matter with my boy? Huh? Huh? Oh, poof. Oh, oof, oh, oof, oh, oof. Huh? What's the matter? Go eat. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know. I've been watching him, so maybe eating something out there. I don't know. Oh, hey, guys, there's enough food there for everyone. So, an interesting thing, he said, go eat. Why aren't you eating? Huh? Not hungry? What's the matter? You can't tell me. I just have to watch you. Could have worms, but that'd be a surprise. Just don't know. Did you pick something up? Huh? That even your strong dog tummy can't handle? Huh? What's the matter? What's the matter? Huh? Oh. Huh? Can't you tell me? Hmm? Huh? I have to go with my instinct when it comes to you guys, huh? Well, I know something not quite right. Huh? Bring him to the vet. Uh-huh. $500 later, they can still not tell me what's wrong. Or they'll make something up. He's not in such bad shape that I can't figure this out on my own. Eventually I will. But he's definitely not eating. No. If he did, he only ate some of it. Well, anyway, that's something to worry about, right? Well, it does. Well, anywho. So one thing that I always wonder about in people is the choices we make on what we want to be bothered by and what we want to be happy about. I was really excited to see the revivals, the spontaneous revivals, as they call them, of young people. Right? And it's kind of spreading out, from Kentucky where it started, and I think it's still going. I don't see much of it. It's not as important or it's not as exciting, right? People actually getting together and there hasn't been any mayhem there yet. So yet, right? As soon as that would start, like, okay. But it seems to be quite a strong force at work here that represents a shift in people's hearts. Right? Oh, okay. I'm not sure on how. I know that not everybody gets the exact same things on YouTube, right? Well, when you get on, I bet you could be sitting here with 20 people and we would have different, yes, uh, things popping up. But I bet you that there would be some videos that all of us would have. Oh, yeah, do you have this one? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do you have this one? Yeah, yeah. But otherwise, right? Okay, why is that? I mainly watch cooking videos, gardening videos, every once in a while an animal video. I'm going, oh, that looks interesting, right? a lot of stuff out there's just clickbait. You click on it and you're going, but the title said something different. I realized that usually in the first so many couple of minutes or something. Going, oh, that's not what this is. It's just dumb. I'm not watching this. The end of it. And there's one thing that, and so that's what I watch. Right? I rarely go and look for the disasters or click on news. There's one little area, right, where they put in whatever. You can go in and say, okay, don't recommend this channel. I'm not interested in that channel. They pop up again anyway. Okay, if the news stations have been really consistent, no, I don't believe these guys. I don't want to hear. And sometimes I even go in and I report them for false stuff, and I just do, and then I don't get them anymore. Right? Yes. So I have all these little news stations from all around the country, in the state, in their own state, some small news outlet, not a national one that so many millions watching this and that. And so I see though that they too are okay. Well, you got to make the views, right? Yeah, and they're not making the views for the news with good things. You just don't. Okay, right? Yes. Though I wonder if the news stations actually would pick up that unique revival that's going on. People finding back, I mean, or just it's like the Holy Ghost just working in this country right now in certain place. Why aren't they picking that up and showing what's going on and encouraging people? Say, hey, if you're close by some ropes, start something yourself. This is a good momentum going here for our country. We've been divided for so long, and this seems to be young people, right? Lots of young people. Yeah, so do they feel it too? Huh? They're not just rebelling out there. They're feeling it too. Yeah? And how somehow, who's actually holding the reins in this country, and why are they doing what they're doing and not doing what they should be doing? Okay. So I've been watching these revival things, and I have little videos, if they do pop up, but you have to go look for it really when it comes down to it. Not big on the, okay, so here was another one of that, okay, well, that's too bad, okay. Say a little prayer for the people that passed away in such violent situations, and then they're going to have to move on again, right? Yes? But there were some videos now that popped up. I had to say, wow. And somebody's milking that cow again too, because there are things popping up from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I'm going, that's not happening right now. What's happening now? So there's a new drug out on the street, and it's paralyzing people, and it's causing them to lose their hands and their feet, or some have. So how great is the loss of the limbs when you take this drug? Over how long exactly? But and you can. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager and would go to Zurich. In Zurich, they were really, even at that time. Man, that's 40 years ago now, more than that. They would give out clean needles and things like that to drug addicts, right? Yes, okay, to keep the spread of disease down, right? And so be it, right? And they could openly shoot up right where you walked with your families and your children. That kind of hard to believe, right? That something like this would actually be happening in Switzerland, in Zurich, yeah, one of the most well-known towns, right there at that famous river, right? Okay. And you'd see people with blood running down their arm from where they had shot in or whatever, and dirty and just just completely out of it. So now there's got a new drug on the street. That is okay. Yeah, and I look at that and going, oh my gosh, this is, why is that suddenly now? That's like 40 years ago. Yeah, 45 years ago. I saw that. in another country, on another continent, right? With another drug, different drug, same results. Awareness, or people rather see the misery of people who can't stop, supposedly, and it's just what they're doing. Slow suicide or something. And what do we choose to see, right? And for what reason? Then what is it? I watched that video and going, oh my gosh, when does it end? And how is it? How does a drug like that even get out on the street like this? And how are people affording it? How do they pay for it? Is it as widespread as I don't know. Again, the video was pretty awful, right? To see the people literally just standing there. Okay. But again, and then I thought, but there's the opposite of that going on as well. Anyhow, I wonder if the people who interviewed some of those homeless people or people who took this drug and asked him, so that you could lose your legs and hand. Yes, but you can't stop. No, it's all right. I'm fine. Yes. Hey. I wonder if the people who are interviewing them said, hey, if you talk to us, we'll give you money so you can get more. Right? Yes. I'm just saying that. I'm just observing again. Yeah. And what entices people to watch something or not? How are we kind of do we come across that? I would have never even. There's a new drug out in the street. Oh, turns out it's not that new, but anyway. And are the other drugs that people take like that less devastating? Okay, I don't know. I've never done anything like that. I don't know. It's very sad. Makes you think, and almost kind of dampens a little bit the joy from the revivals. Knowing that's going on out there as well. Book of Job. Young people get inspired, right? Yes, to walk a path of goodness and learn how to deal with certain things that come their way, the trials that come their way. Be inspired to develop a relationship with God, right? Yes. Have a better chance not to end up like that on the streets, loaded with drugs that paralyzes them. And it's just stand there like, yeah, okay. So, Book of Job. That's just interesting. I just thought of that. The two sides of, what is that? Anywho. And I wonder, I'd like to have some interviews with news reporters. What would you rather, what do you think would be more successful, right, to report something like this, drugs and what these drugs are doing, and they're out there and this and that. And of course, they make it sound like a warning, but is it? And then, the revivals that are getting very little coverage. There's some, okay. Yeah. And what would you rather? What do you think would give you more views? Would make you more successful as a news reporter, right? If they answered it, right? Depends on how they answered. Then my next question: why are you a news reporter? Right? Yes. Okay. But it would be interesting to interview news reporters. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's your purpose? What's it really for? This and that. Okay. Leviticus 17. The law of holiness. Slaughtering and sacrifice. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, Speak to Aaron and his sons and all the Israelites and say, This is the order that Yahweh has given. Any man of the house of Israel who slaughters a bull, lamb, or goat, whether inside the camp or outside it, without bringing it to the entrance to the tent of meeting, to make an offering of it to Yahweh in front of his dwelling, that man will be answerable for bloodshed. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, anytime? Oh, you got to ask for the blessing first to... Was that the same with the wheat as well? Just, okay. Again, it has to do with blood. Wheat obviously doesn't shed blood. Oh, answerable for bloodshed. He has shed blood, and the man will be outlawed from his people. Oh, the purpose of this is that the Israelites should instead bring their sacrifices, which they would otherwise offer in the countryside, to Yahweh. Oh, okay, at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Oh, okay, now I'm getting it. So you don't do this on your own. To the priest, and offer them as communion sacrifices to Yahweh. And the priest will sprinkle the blood on Yahweh's altar at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and will burn the fat as a smell pleasing to Yahweh. No longer may they offer their sacrifices to the satyrs, in whose service they used to prostitute themselves. This is a perpetual law for them and for their descendants. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, this is about idols and stuff. People still, you see, I'm not so wrong when I say that some of these things had to be put in place almost as if to guide the people away from worshiping false gods, idols, right? Yes? And that's why it was so strict. No. You don't do none of that at home by yourself anymore. Interesting on what I started with, on the choices that we make. What do we want to be a part of? Even if it is just watching something, right? What do we want to be a part of? And what do we have to just lay aside and say, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do on any of that, do anything about that, except for I'm not going to be a part of. I'm going to try to teach the people around me to not be a part of that. Taking those kind of drugs. The root of that problem is that the people are taking them. Okay? If the people didn't want it, it wouldn't exist. And these are the poorest of the poor out there. Yet they can't afford these drugs. Huh? I'm just saying. All right. So, well, in any case, so this is a part of this. No, you have to have. Oh, gotcha. This is an interesting way, and how I feel like God's just trying to set the strict path of drawing the people in to walk that path towards Him, right? Yes? Must have been very difficult. Okay. Surely everybody loved the freedom that came to leaving Egypt, but we also know how grumpy and complaining, what a complaining people they were as well after they left. And here they are. They left. We're still gonna do what we want to do, but God's very strict about no. Okay, buddy, go lay down. Go. No, you're so wet. Ugh, just go. All right. You will also say to them, any member of the house of Israel or any resident alien who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice without bringing it to the entrance to the tent of meeting to offer it to Yahweh will be outlawed from his people. Yep, don't want him there. That's, yeah, okay, well, again, right? Tough love. Okay, I don't have a problem with any of this. It is what it is. If any member of the house of Israel or any resident alien consumes blood of any kind, I shall set my face against that individual who consumes blood and shall outlaw him from his people. I wonder how he means that consumes blood. Got blood sausage is awfully good. Never felt like I was doing the wrong thing eating blood sausage. But maybe, again, at that time, right? You know how you give someone the little finger and then they'll take your whole hand or something, right? Yes. Maybe it's also just for the sin offerings and the sacrifices, right? It's, as I said, over here it said the one thing. I go, what? It was explained. I'm going, oh, okay. I shall set my... For the life of the creature is in the blood. Oh, that is why. And I have given it to you for performing the rite of expiation on the altar for your lives. For blood is what expiates for a life. Well, there we go. Now we got the answer. It is all in the lineage. The life or blood. Well, okay. Water too. You can have all the blood you want, but if you got not enough water in your system, blood ain't gonna do no good either. But I get it. Okay. So it is. Again, God, and so it try to restore God's lineage. Taken by whom? Oh, Azazel. Is a fallen angel. Is one of the fallen angels. Yep. Of the chief guard of. The chief guard is a group of fallen angels. That's how they described it. And so, and on top of that, okay, all right. I'm not going to go there. How would they know that? Right? Yeah. Men have some odd ideas sometimes when it comes to certain things to make excuses for certain things. Anyway, so Azazel was in the desert, way out in the desert, and and the sins were transferred kind of onto the goat or the lamb or whatever, the bull that were sent out to Azazel into the desert, right, with all the sins from the Israelites. Remember, that was the last chapter before that. So that's Azazel. And I thought, how interesting. So the sins just got transferred out of the camp someplace else. But they're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. They're still around. Yes? So when spirit life is over, when the physical life is over, you're still going to be faced with all that stuff in spirit. Don't know. No. Did Azazel have his own huge big herd of animals? It was a spirit being. It was not a physical. I didn't have a physical body. So, well, just interesting. Okay. Maybe God, he is all powerful, had his own way after that to take care of that. I don't know. Not that informed. Okay. That is why I told you, the Israelites, none of you will consume blood, nor will any resident alien consume blood. That's a good explanation for the people at the time, one would think. Anyone, whether Israelite or resident alien, who hunts and catches game, whether animal or bird, which it is lawful to eat, must pour out its blood and cover it with earth. For the life of every creature is its blood. And I have told the Israelites, You will not consume the blood of any creature, for the life of every creature is its blood, and anyone who consumes it will be outlawed. Okay? That's where True Father got his. Part of the divine principle is right from here, no doubt. Huh? Anyone, citizen or alien, who eats an animal that has died a natural death or being savaged must wash clothing. What? Anyone, citizen or alien, who eats an animal that has died a natural death or being savage must wash clothing and body and will be unclean until evening, but will then be clean. But anyone who does not wash clothing and body will bear the consequences of his guilt. Because the blood had been drained, blood will only flow for so long. Right after you slaughter an animal, you got to do this quick. So, I see. So the reason for that is, so for everything that would, well, okay, but this animal just died and it seems like it's still fine, so I'm going to eat it, or found it, and I'm going to eat it, but can't drain the blood anymore, can't do what one was supposed to do with the blood, right? Yes? To remember who to say thanks to as well, okay? All right. There is more to it than just what it says here. I get that. And I don't know if other people have that. I'm sure they do. When I read certain things here and I take a moment, there's like the rest of the stuff flashes right through my heart to mind, right? Yes. And it's recognizable, and exactly that's the reason. Oh, yeah. But then to articulate it, right? That speed that just went through your mind, and you get absolute, yep, that's understanding. You get this absolute 100% clear understanding, but then to try to explain it, right? It's difficult because the thought that just ran through my heart to mind, I can't speak this fast. So the gist, it's always just the gist of it that I can regurgitate in a way. And one thing again here, right? Have the blood thing. What the heck is it about this blood thing, right? And the divine principle, the one thing, why the blessing is important, is that a change of lineage. Right? In the Garden of Eden, Lucifer took something, the archangel, that became Satan, the devil, whatever, and could be Azazel too. I don't know. Maybe at that time that was that main fallen angel. But anyway, he took something, right? Yes. And one thing, ancestors and descendants, they're created. They were created at one point. How? And they are created in the future and now in the present. How do you have babies, right? And so blood, lots of blood is involved. Genes, the genes are in your blood, right? The markers, that's what it is. Right? It's important. The lineage is important. Who do you belong to? Satan or God, I guess, right? Well, there's the book of Job. I mentioned that. Interesting. Before here as well. Why do we have that book? A lot of people like that book in many ways. Do we understand it properly? So here's God. Okay, at that time, again, how simple did people really live? Well, if you look at what they had to build when it came to the tabernacle, right? That sounded pretty complicated to me, really, when it came down to it. It looks pretty fantastic. So surely they weren't just simple and dumb. They didn't really know yet. That I think they did. They fed themselves. They survived without. Okay. what I find is through these stories that it really was God who tried. God speaking to Moses and Moses to Aaron. Okay, you have to tell them. Okay, now you tell them this. Now you tell them that. Right? Yes? A real clear path of restoration to start with. And that's with physical blood, it starts. Does it end in the spiritual? Blessings, pretty spiritual. Every marriage is pretty spiritual, isn't it? Yes? I don't know. Maybe at that time, again, what was marriage at that time? And a couple got together. We know of some, right, that loved each other very much, but not to the point where you're going, nah, I'd rather have no children than be with another woman. Not doing it. Okay. What was the understanding? Right? Yes, there, to be a family, to have a family. Right? What is it today? What was it 2,000 years ago at Jesus' time? I don't know. Wasn't there. But there seems to be an evolution going on, right? Yes, of the spirit, of the understanding, right? On what a relationship with God is, what it entails to become part of God's lineage again. Yeah, okay, well, I guess that's why I mentioned the other, right? Two different, very two different spectrums. The people who are part of these revivals, the people who are part of what? Street drugs. Devastating ones. Yes. I'm observing. Okay? Just observing and trying to understand. And then hopefully teach. Yes, that's where you go. That's what you want to be a part of. It's a stricter surrounding. You got to keep yourself clean as best as you can. You'll have to give up some things. Desires is a big thing. Desires that aren't helping anyone, hurting you, hurting others. Okay, just saying. It's good to see that people are searching for peace and a better way. Right? I think. That's what I wanted to share this morning. God's love and blessings always. It's a nice sunny day. I'm going into the garden today. No wind. I can't work out there when it's windy. I just don't do not. I can watch the wind and I love it and how, but as far as being out in the wind, nope, not me. I'm just an observer. Observer with when it comes to wind. I can be out in the rain. I can be out in the sun. I can be out in the snow. I'm not a happy camper. Cannot be out in the dark. Not a happy camper. Not too happy of a camper out in the wind. Yes? Well, that's it. Just observe. Yes? Okay. God's love and blessings always. One more time. May He protect you, and I will talk to y'all another time.